wanted to give you a little video update, kind of show you what Bella can do, all of her off-leash stuff. So this is us working on the heel. Now before all of my walks, I work on what we call the crazy man method. So I don't just like leash up my dog and go for a walk. What I do is I prime them by having them, oh, heel Foos, come on. Good, and I don't allow sniffing when I ask for the Foos. She's got to pay attention. She's got to really commit to the command. Foos, come on, good girl. So if my dog is excited, she's not going to focus as well. So this is a good exercise to help her kind of be more calm and focus more on you. And the concept of this, the idea behind the crazy man, is that we create a little bit of urgency. So there's going to be a lot of directional changes, and she's got to stay with me. What that does is it makes the dog really think about where you are. Because all of a sudden, if she gets distracted, we're going to go away from her and she's got to come back into position. So if she doesn't come back into position, let's say she's sniffing something, then I'm going to hold down my e-collar button until she gets back in that position. So that's going to be really important for you to work on, and I'll show you how to do this stuff in the go home session, so don't worry about that. Good job. Another thing that she's really good at is her plots, Bella plots. Good girl. So I give her an opportunity. Now she did it, so there's no need to use the e-collar there. If she were to hesitate, or if she were to break from this position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my e-collar and I'm going to repeat the command down, and I'm going to bring her all the way back to that general area in which I put her in the down, because that's going to, or plots, repeat the command plots. That's going to reiterate the stay portion of this. So really I never say stay. I only say, so she knows blibe for waiting at doors, but everything for me is implied that you keep doing it. I think stay is silly. I know a lot of trainers say the word stay, but I don't, because I think the dog just needs to understand when I say something, it means you keep doing it until I either release you or we go into another command. So another thing that she can do is, as we can go from a down to a Foos. Come on, Foos, good girl. And I practice this a lot. I practice it on walks. I practice it around Home Depot, around distractions, around crazy things at the park. Foos. Because with a dog like her, we really have to require a lot of obedience. Sit. Oh, good. Sit. Good girl. Foos. Good job. Good. Okay, so now we're going to go up in the house. Good girl. Now, I require my dogs to wait at doors, so I say blibe. Good. I open up this door. Now, if she were to bust through the door, I would have made her come all the way back outside, and I would use my e-collar there and repeat the command. If she really got away from me, I might just call her to me, just ask for her to come. If she puts one paw over the line, I might just tap the button and say, nope, blibe. Good girl. Okay. Good job. So another really good thing to work on in the house is some placing. Bella, bed. Good. I've used the command bed for her because place sounds too much like plots, so I want it to be very clear to her. Now this is implied that she stays here. At any point, if she gets up, I'm going to use my e-collar and repeat the command. So this is stuff that we work on a lot. We go out of sight. All right, for most dogs, that's really hard. You see her ears perk up here. Now, I'm going to try to kind of get her to break in this video, just so you can see what we do. But she might be really good. And go out of sight. She can't see me. Malinois ears are so expressive. They're either up or down. My Malinois ears are always pinned back to her head. Always, always. It's not a fearful thing. People always think it's a fearful thing. it can be submissive, but I don't think it's a bad thing either. So good job. So this is really functional as people come over. With how nervous she is with people, I wouldn't be having people meet her until I can coach you through that, so we can work on stuff like that in follow-up sessions. But right now I want her to kind of understand that you don't get to go bark at somebody just because you're nervous. And so, because as she gets older, that can lead to a bite. I mean, she's only a puppy, so she hasn't bit anybody now, but if we let her get too nervous and we don't ever give her direction, she's gonna figure out, okay, well, if I bark at you, you don't go away, so I'm gonna try something one step further. Good job. Okay, yay, that's a girl. Good job. She likes placing, so even if she places herself, I'm okay with that. But we are gonna go back outside. Okay, Bella, come on. Good girl. Good job. Good. So that's a really good exercise to work on. Even if you're just home by yourself, you can go answer the door, or excuse me, go knock on the door, go ring the doorbell, like kind of trick her a little bit, because it's a good skill to have. Good girl. We're gonna go work on a long down. So long down is an important skill. Bella Platz. Good. Because this works on a ton of impulse control. So every day as I get her out and I work on different exercises, I really go back to two basic things. Number one is focus. Is she paying attention to me? Does she ignore me? You know, is she giving me nice eye contact? Those things are really important. There's a lot of dogs that honestly just don't care what their owners say, kind of unfortunately. You know, and it doesn't mean that the dog's not sweet or anything. It's just there's some dogs that just don't have a natural engagement. She does, but we do have to ask for it. So if she's nervous about something and we don't have focus, more than likely she's going to woof or bark. But if she's nervous about something and we get focus by asking for her to come or to heel, she's going to be more confident and putting more trust in us. Now if she does bark or woof, I do want you correcting that. I don't ever want her to think that that's okay. We want to make that like a that's not appropriate. And then after that we can give her something to do. Now sitting and downing, this is all impulse control stuff. So heel and come is all about focus. Now we're working on down stays, placing on the bed. That's also impulse control. So I would practice that a lot. That's a really good skill. I do anticipate her pushing you on some of these things. She's not a dumb dog by any means, and most Malinois are pushy. She has been a lot better with her jumping. She has been a lot better with her crazy spazziness. She hasn't chewed on a single thing since she's been here, but at the same time I haven't allowed her to have that much freedom. So she, when she's not out working or doing play sessions or out on a walk, if I'm just not able to supervise her, I put her in a kennel. Now I would make sure, I don't know if you have a kennel at home for her, but I would make sure that you have one ready, because for the next 2 weeks we're gonna kind of carry over the same structure that she had here at boot camp into your home. And I call this integrated training. So she knows how to do a lot of these things. She just hasn't done it with you enough yet, but she will. But during this time in which she comes home, a lot of dogs tend to push. And so in order to set yourself up for success, I wouldn't give her a ton of freedom for the next 2 weeks when she comes home. And so what that looks like is when you're not able to supervise her or work with her, she's gonna go in a crate. Because it's gonna make you, when she's out, it's gonna make you become a dog trainer. So Malinois are not easy dogs, and so they require us to be a certain way with them. And then when she gets better, we can start to allow freedoms as she earns that back. So I wouldn't have her on the couch. I wouldn't have her on the bed. I wouldn't have her bust through doorways. I wouldn't allow her to bark at people. I wouldn't allow her to jump on guests. I wouldn't allow her to jump on your other dogs. I know you say you have 2 other Dobermans. I wouldn't allow those things because she hasn't quite earned those things, right? And so we kind of want to work on that stuff with her, where she's working on lots of impulse control and just being a good dog. So that stuff we have to shape. Now when she's out of the kennel for the next 10 days, I'm gonna have her be dragging a leash around the house. So she's off leash trained with me. In fact, she doesn't even have a collar on other than the e-collar today. But it's really important for her to feel like you have a little bit of control. So that's gonna help with less pushiness. It's gonna help set you up if you don't have your e-collar ready or whatever. You have something. And so it's more of a psychological thing of she just came from all this structure of boot camp. We don't want that to go all out the window. So anyway, wanted to show you this, that she's doing awesome, and I'm looking forward to our training session.